Welcome to Bioinspired Forum. Are you bio-inspired today? Yes, we are too. I'm Eva Krutmeyer, and this is, it worked last time.
You want me to say something? Okay. I'm Anders Björs. I'm going to be joining Eva as moderator today. I also want to mention that the foundation that is co-hosting this day, Antonia Axon Jonsson Stiftelse Miljö och Utveckling, also launched a blog yesterday actually, and it's axtalk, axtalk.se. You can find more about this event at that place.
And we would also like to inform you that this whole event is actually taking place also at KTH Learning Lab at the Biomimes Graduate School. They will all film this today and send it on their website. So that's why we have cameras here today. I hope you feel free to put questions forward and feel free to ask whatever you feel, so we get a really nice discussion here today. We want this event to be as interactive as possible.
That's right. Even if we have a bit of a time squeeze between all the speakers, we will really encourage you to ask questions and so on. Just raise your hand.
Yeah. So let's start. So we would like to introduce to you now Ulf Karlsson. He is the chairman of Biomime and one of the hosts here today. Please.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I would like to welcome you all here to this Bioinspired Forum, which is hosted, and among others, from Biomime, where I happen to be the chairman of that research program. Biomime, or biomimetic fiber engineering, that's a spectacular area, actually. And my history is I've been working within SCA, Swedish Cellulose AB, for many, many years as research directors and so on. And we came early, actually, into this field. And we had a certain interest, and I'm going to show you some example from that, actually. Biomime is here at Alba, which is in the vicinity of KTH, or the Royal Institute of Technology. But it's not only one group that is working here. It's several groups that is actually interacting. And I have some of them here on the picture. We have the Swedish University of Agricultural Sciences. We have Umeå Plant Science Center. We have Inventia, the research institute for the Swedish forest industry, which is just 10 minutes walk from here. And everything is funded then by the Swedish Foundation for Strategic Research. So by this picture, I would like to welcome you very warm to this event. And I hope and I know that it will be very inspiring for all of us. Let's see, page down. Yes. 2003, that is roughly 7 years back. We were in SCA at that time. We arranged a seminar, and I saw some of the professors that was participating during that seminar here. And then I met for the first time in my life a little bit more practical biomimetic people, or practical biomimetical research. And Tom Lindström, which I know is here, and we met a German professor that was active at Oxford University. His name was Fritz Wollrath, and Tom and I called him the Spider Man, because he was doing research on spiders and looking actually at the silk thread that the spiders were producing. And he stressed the spiders with relative humidity, with temperature, and a lot of different things. And he was actually working on how is this silk thread composed. And he could also see that the spider changed the composition when he put a higher temperature or lower temperature or higher humidity onto that. A very fascinating man, actually. The spiders were big, almost like a fist when you visit his laboratory. We did, during this seminar, it was held at Nynäshamn outside Stockholm here, we did a lot of workshops there, actually. And we came into areas like if the paper industry is interested in hydrophobicity or water repellency, how has nature solved this problem? And then, of course, and I know there has been researchers now at Royal Institute of Technology that even has done their doctoral thesis on this subject, actually. And the most hydrophobic place in nature you can find, that is a lotus flower. And if you compare how the lotus flower had constructed its water repellency with the type of chemicals that we in the paper industry were using, it was totally or very, very different from what we were using. It was a mixture of surface energy and surface topology. And that was well, it was known, but it was not known by the paper industry. So that was a little bit wake up, actually. And also as a result from that seminar, we also started to talk about, SCA was and is still the owner of the old Mölnlycke that was producing baby diaper. And in baby diaper you put a lot of cellulose, of course, and also a lot of super absorbent, polyacrylate-based super absorbent. And we questioned ourselves, how has nature solved this with water absorbency? And we looked into cucumbers, cactuses, and jellyfish. And I'm from Gothenburg, so of course that was nice to see the West Coast jellyfish. So we actually took jellyfish and looked or tried at least to figure out how the mechanism of water absorbency was. And we found out in this project that was run by Chalmers and some small companies and also an institute down in Gothenburg, that the mechanism for water absorbency in a jellyfish was completely different compared to the commercial superabsorbent that we were using. And then I started to really understand a little bit more about biomimetics, or how biomimetics can inspire you. And this project was called JellySorb, and right now the project has ended, but it has learned a lot to a lot of scientists at SCA down in Gothenburg, so I know that they are still working onto this. But don't expect to see a red burning jellyfish in baby diapers. I can say that to you. Another thing that I think is important, and especially in a project like this, because this is very much research oriented, and if you not are interested in that type of project, you probably will have much more difficulties to implement that into your own organization later on. So I think one thing I used to talk about this very much, and that is a value chain. And if you look here, I've taken one example. I see now that X-Food is not here, but we have Coop and ICA too, of course. This is an example of a value chain, and far to the left here you can see two Swedish forest industry giants, Stora Enso, which is number 2 in the world, I think, and SCA, which is number 3. And then if you follow this, and this value chain is milk, you follow the value chain from forest and all the way out to consumers. I think it is of utmost importance to have more than one actor active in this type of research programs. Because if we only take, and now I talk from my own experience, if we only take the forest industry, we have a tendency to become a little bit more narrow-minded, so to speak. But if we can get in other people, like Tetra Pak is of course one big customer to the paper industry. We have the Swedish Post here in this example. We have a Swedish coffee company and retailers. If we can get in these companies or organization and to be active and to really put demands on the researchers, I think that is an excellent driving force. And I think that is for Vincent and myself and the board now of BioMine for the future, really to look into this, to get in this type of demand, people that put demands on the researchers. So, just to have a final statement here, I think biomimicking or biomimicry or whatever you would like to call it, that is a very important part of research activities, because and in order to enable and help industries, organization, individuals to think a little bit out of the box, actually. And I think that is very, very important, and especially if you are in an industry or a branch like the forest industry. I think I'll stop there. Thank you.